Friend or foe? Black snakes and farm predators. That's what we're talking about today. Welcome back to the Farm2Table Show. Today we're going to walk a tightrope between panic and peace, between shotgun and shovel, between running off the predator and realizing it just might be helping you. I'm talking about snakes, hawks, coyotes, owls, that raccoon with the eyes of a burglar and the morals to match. I tell you what, even that stray dog that swears up and down it wasn't in your coop last night. Here's the thing. On the homestead, we're trained to react. Something eats your eggs, set that trap. Something stalks your chickens, better grab that rifle. But what if, instead of reacting, we started asking smarter questions? Not how do I kill this thing, but why is it here? What is it teaching me? And what am I being called to fix? Because maybe the real problem isn't the predator. Maybe it's the open invitation we left on the table. Let's dig in. The snake that saved the feed room. There's this old timer in Tennessee, third generation, cattle and chickens, no stranger to busted knuckles and cold coffee. The kind of guy who doesn't panic when he hears rustling in the barn. He just grabs a flashlight, sees who's trespassing. Now, one summer, the weirdest thing happens. No more mice. No chewed corners on the feed sacks. No dropping on the shelves. No midnight scampering. Just stillness. At first, he just chalked it up to good luck. Maybe the cold snap killed a few. Maybe the barn cat's finally earning its keep. But the mystery nags at him until one day he climbs the ladder to check the rafters and stops cold. There it is, a 6-foot rat snake, thick as his forearm. Ooh, wee. Lounging like it owns the place, coiled up like it's waiting for a sunbeam and a glass of sweet tea. His hand goes to the shovel almost instinctively, but he doesn't swing, because in that moment, it hits him. That's right. It hits him. This snake didn't just show up. It solved a problem he had been spending money and time trying to fix. No poison, no traps, no reset, just natural pest control. And more than that, it never once touched a chick. Never dropped down for a breakfast egg. Stayed in its lane, you might say. So you know what he did? He left it. He even gave it a name. Called it security. I like the way he thinks. And that snake stayed the whole season. Worked third shift and never asked for a raise. The point? Sometimes your best farmhand doesn't wear boots. But now there's a catch to this. That same snake in a coop with weak fencing, it becomes a burglar with free access. The difference wasn't the animal, it was the infrastructure, and it was stewardship. Want to hear a little more? Good. Cooper Buffet, a lesson from Oklahoma. Let's jump to Oklahoma. Young couple, new homesteaders, big dreams. We all know who we're talking about here. Small flock. Built their chicken coop by hand with recycled wood and Pinterest plans. Ooh. Painted it barn red. Put up a cute little chalkboard that said farm fresh eggs. They were proud, and they should have been, until one morning when an egg went missing. Then another. No broken shells, no claw marks, no drama, just empty nest and quiet tension. They blame raccoons, then maybe a possum. Even wonder if somebody's sneaking in and taking them. So what did they do? They installed a game cam. And the next morning, there it is, long and slow like it owns the place. A rat snake sliding in through a knothole in the wall like it had a key. Curled up in the nesting box like it found its new studio apartment. First reaction, panic. Second, rage. Third, they stop. They talk. They breathe. They don't kill it. They fix the system. Half-inch hardware cloth, not chicken wire. Covered every hole. Reinforced the corners. Buried the bottom 12 inches deep. Installed solar lights with motion sensors. Even trimmed a brush nearby so nothing could sneak close unnoticed. And when they were done, that snake couldn't get back in. That's the lesson. You don't need a snake-proof world. You need a snake-proof coop. You don't fight predators with fury, you outthink them with design. Now, we're going to talk about a different kind of predator, one that's a little more difficult, you might say. Let's go east to North Carolina. This guy's got free-range chickens, the happy kind. Sun on their backs, bugs underfoot, living their best chicken life. Just enjoying their chickenness, right? Then they start disappearing. Not aliens, my friends, no. But there's no blood. There's no feathers. There's no clue. Could it be aliens? Just missing chickens. He figures maybe a fox, maybe even a coyote. But then one morning, sitting on the porch, sipping his coffee, he hears it. A scream. Not from the ground. No, but from the air. He looks up, and there, perched like royalty on top of a maple tree, is a red-tailed hawk. Big, bold, and watching. And suddenly, everything makes sense. Now, could he shoot it? No, hawks are federally protected. But even if he could, should he? Because that hawk, as dangerous as it was to his chickens, also kept the vole population out of his garden, kept the mice off the porch, kept nature balanced, even kept the rabbits out of his garden. So instead of taking it out, he got smart. He built a covered run, added trellises and tall grass patches so the chickens had hiding spots, put a couple of rooster statues around the yard with spinning reflectors on their heads. Started rotating the times he let the birds out. Made it harder. Not impossible, just inconvenience. And guess what? That old hawk stopped coming. Moved on to easier prey. Why? Because the farmer made it clear. You're not eating here. Now, we're going on to an area that's a little tough for me, and that's the old coyotes in the tree line. Because I was raised just like anybody else. Only good coyote is a dead coyote. But let's talk a little bit about that, okay? They howl in the night, eyes shine in the dark. The sound that makes every chicken tuck their beak under a wing just a little tighter. There's this homesteader in Arkansas who keeps goats, rotates pigs through the pasture. Let's just say he knows what it means to sleep with one eye open. Every few months he hears them, right at the edge of the tree line. Never close, just nearby. Now some folks would load the gun and start shooting at shadows. I have to say, maybe that could have been me. But not this guy. He studies them. He starts watching their pattern and realizes they're not hungry. They're just there. Scouting, you might say. So he takes a different approach. I love this. He gets a guard donkey, a big stubborn one with a scream louder than the coyotes. He installs solar lights with random timers. Leaves radio playing talk shows near the goat barn. Be some educated goats, right? Anyway, keeps his fencing hot and his perimeter tight. Guess what? Them coyotes, they stayed back. They respected the boundary. So here's the thing. Predators aren't stupid. They don't want to fight. They want easy. So if your farm looks like a challenge, they'll move on down to another buffet. So let's think of predators as teachers, you might say. Because every predator tells a story. The snake says you've got mice. That hawk, well, he said your chickens are exposed. The raccoon says, that latch, yeah, not even close to good enough. That coyote says your perimeter is predictable. They're not just invaders, folks. They're feedback. Your coop, your barn, your fencing, it's not a monument. It's a conversation with the wild. Every hole is a question. Every missing egg is an answer. Are you listening? Because the moment you stop blaming and start learning, that's when real stewardship begins. Now, I'm going to go spiritual for just a minute. We're going to talk about the old garden in Genesis, the garden. Adam and Eve, creation at its finest. God doesn't say subdue and sterilize. He didn't hand Adam a shotgun. He didn't say kill everything in here. He said no. He said tend to it, guard it, steward it. Even in paradise, there was a serpent. And we could talk about the old serpent, right? Anyway, the instruction wasn't kill everything that moves. It was protect what matters. That's your job, right? Your chickens, your goats, your gardens, they're under your care. not because you control nature. It's impossible anyway, but you are a part of it. Killing the predator is sometimes necessary, but more often it's a sign that we missed something early. Build better, observe longer, and protect smarter. That's stewardship. So, back to the question: black snakes, coyotes, hawks, raccoons, friend or foe? And the answer is the same every time. It really just depends on you. Depends on whether you built a system that keeps them in their lane. Depends on whether you see them as a threat or a teacher. Depends on whether you react or you respond. The land is full of predators, and that's not a flaw. That's the balance. And when you rise to the challenge, when you reinforce the coop, move the flock, plant the shrubs, lock the feed room, you aren't just protecting your homestead. You're learning to work with nature, not against it. You're becoming more than a farmer. You're becoming a steward. And in that role, even that snake might be your friend. Thanks for listening. And listen, be wise, be watchful, and be ready. All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Glad to have you all in, especially my morning crew. Hope you all enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed the thoughts and the stories and kind of the lessons that were tied up in all of that about not always being so quick to see the predator. He's an enemy. You want to be wise about him, but not being so quick to just dispatch, but figuring out what can you do better. How can you make things a little tighter around the place? Put up good fences. I always said good fences make good neighbors. Well, that's true with them predators too. And you don't get that coop tight. That's one of my big fears when I decide to get chickens. It's making sure that coop is tight so snakes don't get in, raccoons, possums. I got them all up here. All right. And I got them. Coyotes used to be around. We got plenty of other predators. I've seen possum. I've seen them all. And so just take that, think about it, chew on it. Leave us some comments. Let us know. Now, guys, if you once again, this is Memorex, Ryan. I am so not going to really apologize. I got to go do my job, but I'd much prefer to be here live with you guys, engaging in the chat and enjoying what comes with getting to do this show with y'all every morning. However, people are out on vacation. Schedule's gotten busy, so I have to be in a little bit earlier. Hopeful to make it sometime this week. Friday's the only day I can say that Lord willing, as long as Friday gets here, I'll be live. But anyway, hope you're enjoying these stories and these examples, and kind of as we dig into things. Anyway, special shout out to Jack and Dyer with Dyer Family Farm, and Greg with Donna, Greg and Donna with Duncan Family Farms for trying to help me out with a little situation and offer me up some help. But anyway, just appreciate that very much, guys. Anyway, let's move on into homestead hacks. Regrowing veggies from kitchen scraps. Regrowing veggies from kitchen scraps. So don't be so quick to throw things away is what I'm hearing there. Place the scraps like green onion roots or lettuce bottoms or celery ends in water near a sunny window. Now, once that new growth starts, then you can transplant it over into the soil. Here's why it's great. It's free food. You already paid for it once. It's free food. It's a pretty cool little project for the kids, too, to sit there and let them see it grow and everything else. And, of course, it can cut down on grocery trips, which saves money both at the grocery store and at the gas pump. Because Lord knows ain't none of them got any cheaper. But anyway, so there is your homestead hack for today. By the way, I just want to take a minute real quick before we move on to the quote of the day. Today is episode number 80. Can you believe that? 80 mornings. We've been here on the morning show, the morning edition, and y'all guys have been kind enough to join in and be a part of it and show up and give me your time. And I do so sincerely appreciate that. We're tracking to 100, 80. We just got 20 more to go. So that's 4 more weeks, another month, and we should be at 100, right? Thereabouts. Anyway, if my math works. Anyway, let's move on to the quote of the day. Here it is. Adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Always liked Emerson. Anyway, that being that, here we are, folks. Listen, we're going to move right on into our upcoming events. Talk about a few things that's getting ready to go on, and talk about this weekend coming up in particular, because it is the busiest weekend in the homesteading world. We're going to kick it off with the Shindig Ozark Living Expo, April 25th and 26th, Newton County Fair and Rodeo in Jasper, Arkansas. You can go out there and look that up, search that out, the Shindig Ozark Living Expo. I know that they're the only thing they're asking is free, just a donation to the parking for the parking attendants that are helping out. Zach Bauer is going to be there both days. There's going to be a lot of other stuff going on. If you're up in that part of Arkansas and don't have plans, or you're in southern Missouri, maybe even western Tennessee, truck on over there to Newton County Fair and Rodeo in Jasper for the Shindig. Anyway, that same weekend for those down in Central Texas, the Homestead Conference, April 25th and 26th, there in Waco, Texas. The lineup is amazing. I know the Salatons, I know Roy Feeks, Sean and Beth Dougherty, and there's a big old long list. It's a great conference. First year, they're really pulling out all the stops on this one, so go check that out. For our friends down in Florida, Homesteading and Outdoor Expo, April 26th, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., the barn at Oleander, Port St. Lucie, Florida. That one's $15 entry fee into that, but I think that right there is a good one-day event right there. Now, right here at home for us on the Farm2Table Show, first annual River Valley Homestead Conference and Poultry Show, April 25th and 26th at Sebastian County Fairgrounds, Greenwood, Arkansas. Now, I've kind of had to readjust some of my plans because of the weather, and I'll explain that here in just a minute. So I may try to make it down there to that one Friday morning, check that out, see what it's all about, and give y'all some reports back on that, maybe take some pictures, and see what's going on down there at this new Homestead Conference and Poultry Show. So we'll try to get some coverage on that. Then later, I don't know if we're going to kind of wait and see what the weather does. Because that same weekend, that same day, in fact, the 25th through the 27th is our 10 Killer YouTube meetup. Plans to be there. We'll be there, Lord willing. We'll be there Saturday for sure. But anyway, it's 10 Killer YouTube meetup, April 25th through the 27th, Lake 10 Killer, Oklahoma, at the Cherokee Landing State Park at the Creek Shelter. They want an RSVP if you're coming. 10 Killer YT meetup at gmail.com. If you are coming, they ask you to bring a 6-pack of water or soda pop or something like that to put in the community ice chest, so it helps everybody out. Now, when I said maybe in weather and everything else, and I also mentioned about Jack and Greg and them willing to give me a hand with something that wasn't able to take advantage of it, but I do appreciate the offer. I appreciate the gesture. Because what happened today is I got a phone call from Cherokee Landing State Park, where I had my reservation to put my camper trailer. And the camping site that I was scheduled to be at, well, the roads into it are currently underwater. We've had a lot of rain up there. The lake's up. So, Robbie, if you're watching, the water's high. Remember I was talking to you the other day about when the water's high, it gets a little bit of a challenge. Well, I looked at the pictures today online, and the boat dock and the whole end of the peninsula down there is underwater. So there's a walking pier, all that. So anyway, all that stuff's underwater, and the road into my campsite. So what we got is I got offered a full refund, or I could wait, hold on, and see what the weather does. Because, see, the problem is it's sunshine today, sunshine tomorrow, moving right on along. Problem is Thursday, starting sometime Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they're expecting more rain up there. Now, I've been praying that for the next few days, at least until after the weekend, that we dry up and get some sunshine so that water can recede down. Now, if it does that, if by some grace, some measure of grace from the Lord above, we get sunshine instead of rain, even if a little overcast, we just don't get the rain and the waters recede down, then we'll be able to come on up and take the camper trailer and camp on site. So I'm going to hold off until late Thursday, maybe even early Friday morning, but late Thursday, early Friday to make the decision on that. So if I can't take my camper, if we can't go up there, then we'll probably just come up for Saturday on the one day of that. So kind of got to see what happens. It may just be the way things are this year because it is Oklahoma. Weather gets a little crazy in the spring. Never know what's going to happen. So either way, we're going to be up there. It's just a matter of how much time are we up there, and do I get to enjoy a camping trip, or is it a day trip? Because it's only about an hour drive through the back routes from my house, so it's not terribly far. But anyway, look forward to seeing many of you up there on that, at least on Saturday for sure. Definitely not. Kind of was bummed out about that earlier, but anyway, it is what it is. We just got to make the best with what we get sometimes. So anyway, looking forward to seeing so many of you up there. Um, anyway, uh, so Mid America YouTube Meetup. Just a few weeks later, May 16th through the 18th, Lake Eufaula State Park at the Deep Fork Campground Pavilion. MT Homestead is the host of that. You can reach them at mthomesteadok@gmail.com. That's at the Deep Fork Campground Pavilion. So you need to make sure you look for that. Lake Eufaula State Park, Deep Fork Campground Pavilion. It's also where the Nature Center is at. Anyway, that's going to be a good event that weekend, and hopefully the weather's good for that as well. May 17th, the 5th annual Shed Farm Homestead Festival in Garland, Kansas. Check that one out online the other day. Looks like it's a good event. A lot going on there. Classes, presentations, vendors, the whole package. So if you're up around the Garland, Kansas area on May 17th, might be a good place to go. June 6th and 7th, the Homestead Festival, Hardison Mills near Columbia, Tennessee. That's on Roy Feek's ranch. There's going to be entertainment. There's going to be vendors, speakers, classes. Like I said the other day, I went and checked out some of the videos from 2024. Looks like a great event. Huge number in attendance. So if you're able to make it, that's a good place to go. End of June, June 27th, 28th, the Modern Homesteading Conference in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Big one out there in the western side. Same thing. Speaker lineup is awesome. Check out modernhomesteading.com for more details and more information about that. We'll take a little break through the old hot months of July and August, and then we've got, as far as I know now, if I find out about more stuff, I'll let you know. But anyway, Ozarks Homesteading Expo, just like the hat says, Ozarks Homesteading Expo, September 5th and 6th in Marshfield, Missouri. Now, that one's been going on. This is year number 6 coming up. The lineup is great. It is an awesome event. The vendors, the teachers, the presenters and teachers, and there's always something special. And of course, I'm looking forward, like I said earlier in the week, that goat's milk ice cream. Calling my name. Anyway, so that's that one. Now, end of September is the Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous, September 26th and 27th at the Southeast Expo Center in McAlester, Oklahoma. You can find out information about this one, Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous on Facebook or oklahomahomesteadrendezvous.org. Same thing with Ozarks Homesteading Expo. You can check that out on the old Facebook. Do a Google search on it. You'll find it. The Homestead Rendezvous, Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous, that one's growing. We're getting a lot of people. Keith and I are presenting along with some other people, a whole lot of people, vendors. It's just growing. We've got good sponsors on board. This is looking to be a great event this year. It was great last year for our first year. We're looking for bigger and better things this year. So make your plans. And Homesteaders of America Conference, October 10th and 11th in Front Royal, Virginia. Encourage you to check that out, especially if you're on the East Coast or you're willing to travel. That is the Granddaddy of them all. It's a huge conference. Speaker lineup second to none, and it is just it's going to be an awesome weekend right there. So that is all of the upcoming events that I have currently in my stash. Got some stuff going on this week. I want to give a shout out to Olive Branch Aquaponics. Go check them out over there. Bob Ryder and them at Olive Branch Aquaponics this Thursday in Hugo, Oklahoma. They are doing a grand opening for an aquaponics facility they built in conjunction with the Choctaw Nation. Not sure all the details, but I know the grand opening is this Thursday down in Hugo. So if you're down in that area, go check that out. Go over to Olive Branch Aquaponics. I bet you can find out some information about that. I know Bob and them are real proud of that work. They've been down there it's been a big project, taking a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of energy. But anyway, so shout out to them on that. Go check that out. Anyway, yeah, episode number 80, guys. Let me know how it's going. Do you like the format the way it is right now? where I hit the topic right off the front, and then we come back into all this stuff. What did you like it the old way? Kind of where I was leading in, and with the greetings and all that, and then getting into the topic. I don't know. I'm kind of watching the numbers, and also vertical or regular. Which one do y'all like? Just let me know. Leave it in the comments, not in the chat, because I'm not seeing the chat. I won't be there for that. So leave it in comments. Let us know what you think. We're always seeking feedback on content, on format, all those types of things, because we want to deliver you a great product, and certainly appreciate each and every person that comes in and hangs out, especially the morning crew. Those are my people that are there loyally every morning. They are there more than they're not. And so anyway, shout out to them. So that is a wrap today on the Farm to Table Show Morning Edition. Thanks for joining us as we strive towards building stronger communities for now and in the future. Oh, and before I forget, tonight, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, Hippie Cow Yay Homestead goes live. And then at 8 p.m. following that, Leonard Mountain Homestead goes live. So there's 2 lives this evening that you can check out, and go over there to Hippie Cow Yay Homestead and give some support to Dodge and Chris. They're the founders of Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous. Go out and hang out with them as they're trying to get their live going and working on building their channel. And of course, Chris and Amy over at Leonard Mountain Homestead, always fun, always cutting up, always laughing. So anyway, go over there and give them some support as well. So now that that's over, if you enjoyed today's episode of the Farm to Table Show Morning Edition, hit the old thumbs up button, give us the likes, hit the thumbs up, share it with your friends. Definitely share this thing out, and subscribe to our channels on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. It is the best way to stay connected and help grow the conversation about food, farming, and community. Until next time, keep your roots deep and your vision growing. Good food starts with great people just like you. Remember, we are #stronger together. Be a blessing to someone today, and we will see you all on the other side. Here's Hank to take us home.
No humans were harmed in the production of this podcast.